Welcome back. So I've been watching someone's reaction to Food Wars, and if you've seen Food Wars, an anime, of course, if you didn't know, if you've seen Food Wars, you know that it is a oh god, it is a unique, very unique show. It's about cooking. You can guess that based off the title, but it's also about you have to be so good a chef that if your food doesn't blow people's clothes off, you basically can't make it. Essentially, stripping your um, stripping the people who taste your food is essentially the minimum requirement to be a good chef in that show. Top tiers is like the oh god, they're reaching the peak, if you will, to make it tame. If you know what I mean, you probably know what I mean. They're reaching the peak, and they get overcome, if you will. God damn it, it's hard to talk about it. Yes, I've been watching someone's reaction to it, and it's really funny seeing him skirt around all of the like reactions the judges have, because he's not like super into the clothes being torn off and all the, well, just very very blatant sexualization of what happens when they taste the food. Like they taste the food, suddenly it becomes very very sexualized. Clothes get torn off, they look like they're having way too good of a time. That kind of stuff. And it's just funny seeing his reaction to it. God, I need to... I don't think I have the stomach for Food Wars anymore. Like, I talked about this in the last video, I'm pretty sure. When I was like 16 to 17-ish, I was much more into like harem isekais, because that was like my horny phase, as it is for everyone. It's what puberty is, for God's sakes. Yes, I was all into stuff like that, and that's basically the prime time where I watched Food Wars, and I just don't think I got it in me anymore to watch that. I do want to do it again because I do think it is an interesting story. Like Soma trying to battle to the top of this. God damn. Trying to battle to the top of this culinary school, try to beat everyone. Along with that, I do... Oh, no. Oh, that almost went badly. I almost dropped off the edge. Alright, where's my way in? Where's my hole? There it is. He's coming down after me. I know he is. There he is. Divine Pillars of Light. Awesome. Yeah, so it's interesting seeing Soma battle his way through this school. I do very much enjoy that aspect of it. It's why I want to watch it again. I think I would get so bored with all the sexual stuff. Because, like I said, unless your food is essentially making people finish, then it's not good food. Which is just... I don't know if I can watch that kind of stuff again. Granted, I probably could, but it's just... It'd be so tiring after a while. Like, Don Mochi is like the perfect kind of mix for me. From what I've seen whilst I've been rewatching it anyway. There's like some sexual stuff. Mostly in just character designs. It's not like the stripping or dressing in a certain way. It's mostly just Hestia, really. Everyone else looks pretty good. As far as clothing wise, they look very civil. And they look like they fit the job title, actually. Adventurers and stuff. So there is some, like, out there stuff with specifically Hestia's design and her rather large chest, if you will. But it is also just a wonderful story about Belle, the main character, trying to improve and become a better adventurer in order to win the heart of someone he is falling in love with. And I love that story. Food Wars, however, is definitely heavy-handed with its... Oh god, what's the fastest way to go? Yeah, it would be this way. Food Wars is definitely heavy-handed with the sexualization. Mostly because it's tied so deeply into the rest of the stuff, because it's about cooking and it's about climbing to the top of the cooking world, but because your food has to be good enough to blow people's clothes off, the sexualization is very much tied into the story with it, which is something I'm iffy about. It's not something I mind too much, because I know a lot of people don't like fan service. I personally don't have too much of a problem with it. Granted, if it takes away from a character too much, I don't like it. Like, oh god, what's her name? I think it's Tatsumaki. I believe it's Tatsumaki. In Fire Force. Like, she has, in my opinion, a really cool ability. I really want to see her improve with it. Her whole cat cloak ability, where she, like, gains more features of a cat with more fire and becomes more powerful. I find that so cool, especially like the newest. I don't know about newest, but in season 2, if you've seen it, you'll see it. She gets like cat eyes; they're like on fire. It looks awesome. The problem is she's mostly used for being undressed, which is funny. Don't get me wrong; it can be funny. I do appreciate humor, as many will know. Humor is like my biggest thing. I adore humor, but I wish it didn't detract so much from the goddamn her character, if you will. I want to see her grow and get strong more, especially since she is a 3rd generation pyrokinetic, which is like one of the strongest. The only one above it is, I believe, I don't know if he's classed as 4th generation, but Benimaru. He has like 2nd generation and 3rd generation pyrokinetic abilities, so he can control others' fire as well as create his own fire. The only one above like 3rd generation or Benimaru is of course the Idolaverse, and a special exception which I won't talk about. God damn it, I hate you. Yeah, so Tatsumaki is a disappointment, because I feel like her look, her design, her transformation is so cool. It could be done in such a cool way. It's not going to be on that level, but there's an example of how to make a badass cat-like female. Like, you have the blueprint for it in Bleach. You have Yorichi right there. She is sexy, she is badass, she is strong. She's basically perfect, okay? You can't get much better than Yorichi. I'm saying that right? I feel like I'm saying that wrong because I was reading Demon Slayer and I know Yorichi is very big there. Oh god, I think I'm getting it wrong. I know it starts with a Y. I know it's similar to Yorichi. I think I'm saying it wrong because I'm saying it with more I's, because that's how Yorichi is spelled. It's a Yoiichi. Yorichi. That's how the Demon Slayer dude spelled. But I know that the gorgeous woman from Bleach is definitely spelled differently. So I feel like I'm getting that wrong and I apologise. But yeah, she is the perfect example of how to make a badass cat female character with like a cat transformation. Oh god, maybe I shouldn't have revealed the cat transformation bit. But no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, but you have that blueprint, and yet the best you can do is make it so she's stripping a lot. Like, not on purpose, it's an accident. But still, the intent... I say intent. The directive is still very much there. The intention is still very much there. Like, we know why you're doing it. It's fan service. It's full-on fan service. And like I said, I don't mind fan service. I personally don't, like, even mind. Probably because of my younger days where I watched loads of harem crap and I just got to terms with all of it. So I don't mind it too much. But it can definitely be overdone. And I think Tatsumaki is a prime example of it being overdone. I really hope her name's Tatsumaki. Otherwise, I'm going to look so stupid. I think Yorichi is... Is she the perfect example? Because, like, she's not overly sexualized. But clearly she is built with a very gorgeous figure, to put it gently. And plus, her transformation is overtly out there, if you will. I think a more recent example would be Noelle, because her design is not, you know, overtly out there, but her transformation, however, is. However, it doesn't necessarily, well, I say, typically it doesn't take away from it, because of how badass it is, because it is just so badass. She's gliding on mana in the air in order to fly. It's amazing. It's beautiful. She's gliding on air like it's water, okay? It's one of the best transformations I've ever seen. I adore that transformation. Her Valkyrie dress is beautiful. I believe it's called Valkyrie armor in the anime, but Valkyrie dress I prefer so much more because it's a mix of feminine and like warrior type things. Because she calls it a dress, but it's clearly armor, which like mixes the whole feminine but freaking powerful aspect of it, which I love. So I definitely would prefer if they just stuck to Valkyrie dress, because it's like a beautiful mix and it shows how freaking strong she is. Like, it doesn't matter what gender she is, she's badass no matter what, and I adore it. I love Noelle so much, so goddamn much. Like, to be clear, the only women I have on par with her are Robin from One Piece and oh god, oh no, don't blank on her name. Tamari, there we go. Though that is in terms of just like everything. In terms of badassness, there's a lot of people that could go up there. I really hesitate to even put Urza on par with someone like Yorichi, or someone like Noelle, or Marileona specifically. Just because, yes, Urza's badass, yes, she has cool moments, but she is sexualized a lot. And plus, whenever I think of her, all I can think about is what they did to her in Tartarus, and it makes me feel sick, honestly. If you don't know what I mean, it's been out for years, I'm going to talk about it. There's an arc in Fairy Tail. If you don't know, that's where Urza comes from. Urza is from Fairy Tail. There's an arc in Fairy Tail where the Fairy Tail Guild is fighting the demons of Zeref. They come from books of Zeref. Zeref made all the demons, and the demons are trying to, I think, get Zeref's attention, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to get rid of all magic by raising this weapon that the government made. They stole the plans for it, I think, and they're trying to activate it. So during one of the attacks on Fairy Tail, when they was looking for, when, you know, Tartarus, the demons were looking for members of, oh god, what's it called? Oh god, what am I doing? I can just go rest here, there's a bonfire here. Yeah, so during when Tartarus was looking for council members in order to find out about the weapon, they ran into Fairy Tail quite a lot. During one of these fights, one of the demons comes across Urza and they capture her. And the next time we see Urza, she is chained up with just a top on and she's being whipped. And not only just whipped, the demon that's whipping her, this woman, is horrifying. She's awful. I hate her so much. What she can do is manipulate senses and feelings. So what she's doing is amplifying Urza's pain response. So let's say you feel hurt and your pain is a 1 out of 10. with her pain response, she can make it 100 out of. She can make it like 100. She can make it 1,000 instead of 1. From the same action, mind you, the same action. Like say if you just like pinched your cheek, the same pinch. If you just got a 1 on pain, she could make that same pinch 100 or 1,000 times worse. And she is whipping Urza until Urza is drooling on the floor. It makes me sick. Okay, I hate it. I hate it so much. And it's kind of a problem I have whenever I think about a specific character. If something bad has happened to them, that's typically where my mind goes immediately. And it's awful. I hate it so much. And it's just, oh god. I love Urza so much, but she is done so dirty. Like, almost as dirty as Korra, because Korra gets beat up so much. And it's just, it's horrifying. I'm definitely sexist in that. I've stated this before. I'm sexist in that I care more about women being hurt than men in anime.
Welcome, unkindled one.
Wanted to quickly add this because I realised how bad that sounds. I'm sexist in that I don't want women to be hurt, so I care more about them being hurt because I don't want to see it. Not that I want to see them hurt. I just realised how bad that sounds whilst freaking watching this, editing it. Jesus Christ. Need to be a bit better with my words, I suppose.
You've done quite enough. Now have your rest.
Yeah, so the reason I can't put Urza with the others is because it's not that she doesn't meet the requirements of being badass. She does. She absolutely does. She has amazing moments. She has powerful moments. And overall, she is one of the best anime women ever. Like, full on. Like, despite my criticisms, she is absolutely one of the best. There is no denying that. The problem is, I have so many problems with her character. Her outfits are pretty cool.
Marks our grave, but you may rest here too.
Her different armors are cool.
Like.
Her magic is awesome. It's very unique. Requip magic. I do very much enjoy it. It's very unique compared to some of the others, which is basically just fire and ice and summoning minions. No, she summons armor and weapons, which is really cool. I do like it. It's just, she is put in vulnerable positions so much. And I don't know why. Like, I don't understand. It's like she is purposefully hurt more than necessary, just for the purpose of hurting her. And it's not just physically either. Mentally is... It's the reason I hate Jalal, because he makes her weak whenever he's around. It doesn't matter whether he's good, whether he's bad, whether he's in between. If he is around her, she is weak. And it takes away from her character. Well, that's a lie. It doesn't take... It actually adds to her character a lot. It shows that she's still just a person. She can't just be strong all the time. It's very good for her character growth. I'm just bitter because I don't like seeing Urza that way. Seeing Urza weak or intimidated or unable to fight back, it makes me feel horrible, which I know is a personal thing. I know a lot of people like the shipping of Urza and Jalal. I personally don't, because of the fact that it makes her weak. Like, I think I'm influenced a lot by Natsu, because in essentially the first instance where Urza is shown as like really weak with Jalal is the first time we meet Jalal in the Tower of Heaven arc. And in that arc, Urza grows a lot. She cries for like the first time, well, not the first time in front of Natsu, but it's for the first time in a long time. And Natsu states that he never wants to see her like that. That she's always been strong and dependable, and that she's amazing and that he never wants to see her weak and he never wants to see her cry. And I concur with him. I think I was influenced a lot by what he was saying, my feelings towards Urza. I think his thoughts have influenced me quite a bit. I never want to see Urza like that, where she's weak and unable to do anything, because she's a powerhouse, and it seems like she's purposely put in such weak positions so often. And it's just kind of infuriating. Like, there are quite a few arcs in Fairy Tail, but I'd say some of the main ones are the Tower of Heaven, next is Tenro Island, there's the Grand Magic Games, and then there is the Tartarus stuff.
This spot marks our grave.
In
But
Tower
you
of
may
Heaven,
rest here too,
in
if you
Tenro
like.
Island, and in Tartarus, she's put in such a vulnerable and weak position and made to suffer, essentially, either mentally or physically. And it's awful because... So I talked about the one with Tartarus where she's like whipped by this demon woman after having her pain intensified. It's just... It's not just like pain either. I'm pretty sure she like freaking uses like pleasure as well to like make her like want to break her, if you will. He's trying to make her go insane by mixing in pain and pleasure when she's whipping her. It's awful. I hate it. But also on Tenro Island, she's like beat up by this dude, and there's like no way she can win. She just keeps getting beat up and beat up and beat up. She wins at the end, which is a power of friendship thing, which I don't like. Urza often has them a lot. Same with Natsu. I think Urza maybe has more. Like, I don't know how she beat her mother. That was insane. She should not have been able to beat her mother, in my opinion. She only had use of one arm, and yet she somehow flew upwards, beat a meteor, and then got back down safely. No. It's just... I don't know. Ah, crap. Yes, I was on a point. Yeah, so... During the whole Tower of Heaven thing, Urza says that he never wants to see Urza cry because she's supposed to be strong, someone he can depend on, someone who is stronger than him. Because that's what she is. She is stronger than him. She is someone he looked up to deeply. Like, she's like a big sister for him. And he cares about her so much. And yet, this one dude comes along, Jalal, and because of the effect he has on her, she can't fight basically at all. I don't think she fights at all in the Tower of Heaven arc. Because she can't. She can't fight against him or anyone there because she used to be best friends with them. They used to be her family, essentially. Ah, crap. I jumped too early. Oh, no, I got it. So, it's just... She's put in such a vulnerable position, and it's awful. I will say, despite my distaste for it, it does have one of the best payoffs ever. One of my favourite lines in all of anime, one of my favourite scenes in all of anime, is when Natsu eats Ethereal, burns away the poison in order to just get the magic in order to fuel his fire. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what he does with the Ethereal, because it's supposed to poison him, because it's not just fire magic, which is what he's supposed to be able to eat. It's like every single type of magic condensed. But I'm pretty sure he burns away the rest of the poison in order to just get the fire aspect. And so, essentially what he does is he starts feeding on Jalal. And my favourite line in all the Fairy Tail, I believe, one of my favourite moments, is him punching Jalal through the floor while screaming, "You made Urza cry. I'm not gonna let you get away with that."
Oh,
I love
brother.
that line so much.
I'm on my way.
It shows the commitment he has, how much Fairy Tail and every member in it
brother.
means to him.
Unyielding sword of Lothric's prince.
I never noticed. You have long
I
fingers.
accept
You have
your
sharp fingers. Why do you have sharp fingers?
For that is our curse.
Yeah, but just like seeing how much Urza means to him, because she is always stronger than him, and he relies on that almost in order to help him get stronger. He's always pushing towards getting close to her strength. She's a role model for him, and he can't bear to see her vulnerable and crying like that. I think it's fine when she's with Fairy Tail because she can be vulnerable with them. They are her family. That's why I don't mind her crying when it's with them, because they will support her and they will help her and they will make sure she's okay. They will make sure she's happy. But if someone else is making her cry, probably not going to be someone who's looking out for her.
Our grave, but you may rest here
but
too.
Fairy Tail knows she can
like.
cry around them. She can be vulnerable and she can be happy. And she can be sad because they will be there to lift her up. And it's just... It's why I can't put Urza at the same place as Mereoleona or Yoriichi. It's because, yes, they likely have vulnerable moments too, but they're never in a position where they are incapable of fighting, really. Like, unless you put them down, or you outwit them, or you come with a truce, you're probably not going to beat them in a fight. Mereoleona specifically, she will throw hands with anything, anybody. Okay? She loves fighting. Yoriichi is very, very much smarter than Mereoleona, so she picks and chooses her battles more cautiously, which is understandable. When she gets into a fight, the only way you're getting out of said fight is if you knock her out, kill her, or she kills you. Or knocks you out, okay? You're not leaving that fight unless one of you is down for the count, either dead or unconscious. And it's wonderful to see. But Urza is very different. I do respect her because she is one of the best females in anime, as I've stated before. But I just can't put her as high as the other two. I'm trying to think of like other women that I'd put there. Currently none aren't coming to mind, but there are definitely more out there. I just can't think of them at the moment. Oh crap. Oh crap. Oh god, what's her name? Oh god, I can't remember her name. She's from the Kure clan, I believe, in Kengan Ashura. She has like black eyes. She is amazing. She is awesome. Like, she's insane, which I think is why I'm so drawn to her as like an amazing female. She isn't in Kengan Omega as much, basically at all, except for like a few freaking chapters where she just shows up again to like remind you, oh look, she's there, she's still obsessed with Omar. Yeah, but she is insane because she values strength above all else, and it's crazy. Like, another one of my favorite scenes is, so she is so insane and wants to like make strong children that the moment she sees Omar and sees how strong he is, she literally does a wrestling move on him, like wraps her leg around his head, puts her face close to his, and like, let's make strong children, and he runs away. Like, he is a fighter, he is a brawler. He does anything to get into a fight. He will do anything for a fight. If you throw any shade at him, he will fight you. But someone offering to make babies? He couldn't deal with it, so he ran. He picked her up off of him because like I said, she had her leg wrapped around him. She was like wrapped around him. He picked her up, set her down, and ran. He ran for the hills. It was so funny. I love Kengan Omega, honestly. I think I only have one problem with it. Like, if I think about it properly. God damn it. Like,
This
without,
spot
like, reviewing
marks
it.
our grave, But you may rest here
I think my only problem with it
if you like.
is one specific fight in which this cop dude becomes unhinged and starts torturing this kid. Like, it is full-on torture. It's horrible it's horrible to watch. I hate. I have to skip over that scene whenever I rewatch it. Which, I just remembered I am due for a rewatch since I can't even remember the girl's name. There aren't that many strong women in Kengan Ashura, which it pisses me off so much. I love strong women. They're so awesome. They're so awesome. Well, it also depends on the kind of strength, because Tatsumaki is awesome. And when she's in her element, like when she's fighting, I got Psychos? Whatever her name is. Psycho Orochi, if you will, the dual version, since I can't remember her full name. When she's fighting her, and her ego comes out in full, it's fully warranted. Like, she is... Oh god, she's so amazing in that fight. But most of the time, I find Tatsumaki... It's not Tatsumaki, is it? I think it is Tatsumaki. No, it is no, it is. It is Tatsumaki. Tornado of Terror. Oh god, but then... What about the cat girl? Is her name not Tatsumaki? I was reading One Punch Man recently, so maybe I just got Tatsumaki in my head. Yeah, but when she's just normal around and she has her ego out, I can't stand it. It's not that I can't stand it, it's more so it gets very annoying very fast for me. Her whole bratty nature, I don't care for it a lot of the time. But when she's in a fight, I don't mind, because you get to see why she is the way she is. She is the strongest Esper, at least as far as I'm aware, from where I am in the story. Last time I read it, I just got to, like, where she frickin' twirled the frickin' big bad into, like, a spear, and then all of the, like, dragon level things were coming out and were fighting the pro heroes, the S ranks, and were just tearing them apart. That's the last thing I got to. I know about like God Goro, like the God powered Goro. I know about all that. I didn't read to there myself, but I do know about him. So that's why I'm reading it again currently, in order to catch back up to see what's happening with One Punch Man. Yeah, but Tatsumaki, I think I would put with Mereoleona and with Yoriichi. Because despite me not caring much for her bratty side, she is strong. She is so strong, and it's warranted. Like, it's fully deserved. Like, her ego is fully deserved, even if I find it annoying at times. Like, there is a reason she is number 2. And she shows you that. She full on shows it when she needs to. And it's not that she never gets beaten up, because she does. In her fight with Psychos Orochi, she gets beaten up a lot. She gets beaten so bad. But her ego never drops. She never starts to show too much weakness. She is always on the belief that she is the strongest, that she will come out on top. And I think that's what sets her apart from like Urza, is that she will, if she's in a fight with a stronger opponent, start to doubt herself quite a bit.
You may rest here too, if you like.
And I think that's the difference between them. I don't think... Sure, when she came up against Aizen, Yoriichi, you know, was very tactical, and she understood that Aizen was above her. That's understandable. Mereoleona, very understandable that, oh, she comes up against odds, probably can't beat these. She's still smiling about it, which I think is another difference. They don't get depressed about it. They don't get worn down. They're like, I'm gonna try my hardest, but if I can't beat this enemy, then that's it. They understand that. But I don't think Urza has that quality about her. She's very strong, and she does always push through, but she lets doubt creep in a lot. Granted, when she's in her element, even if she's fighting an enemy that is stronger than her, if she knows she can win, she does pull out that victory. But she is very much under a lot of mental stress, whereas the others are very sure of themselves. They understand their role, and they do it perfectly. They are the strongest, or at least the strongest in their minds. Well, not in their minds, because they very much know people are stronger than them. But they are the strongest versions of themselves currently. And they understand that. They go into a fight with that weight. Well, without any hesitation, because they know they've... Well, I'm not going to say they've trained, because Tatsumaki doesn't really train, I don't believe. But they've pushed themselves to this extent, and if they lose here, that's just how it goes. They understand that. Like, I didn't mean for this video to turn into me crapping on Urza. I do, like I said before, love Urza. I think she's amazing. It's just, I hate her moments of vulnerability. Because, like I said, I've been influenced by Natsu to hate it. Because he hates it. He hates when she cries. I hate when she cries. That didn't make as much sense as I wanted it to, but it doesn't matter. God damn it. Alright, so I should probably explain this fight a little bit. God damn. I'm at the end of an episode, but I haven't even talked about it. So, Lorien and Lothric are... There's no way to put it, they're cowards. They're full-on cowards. Well, Lothric more than Lorien. Lorien's just trying to protect his brother. But Lothric up there, the weakling coward baby, doesn't want to light the fire. He's like, yeah, no, I ain't about that. Because he's weak. It's not that he's physically weak, he's mentally weak. He's like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. And his brother, Lorien, is just trying to protect him. Lothric, I mean, so goddamn weak he can't bring himself to light the fire. Can't bring himself to save the goddamn world.
Marks our grave, but you may rest
and
here
the reason
too,
I'm not locking on as much
like.
is because if you lock on, Lorien does teleport around more. So I'm trying to not lock on in order to minimize how much he jumps around. But then again, he's jumping around everywhere anyway, so I may as well lock on. Either way, I am going to leave things there. I really thought I'd be able to defeat them this episode. Unfortunately not. I hope you enjoyed my rambling about freaking anime women. Did not mean for this episode to turn into that. But I guess that's the way things go when you get on a roll. Either way, I'll leave things there. If you enjoyed, if you don't mind, like, share, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. I'll see you all later, and good.